YOLO! Okay guys, the time has come. It's time for my conclusions on the V11, which has been a very unconventional testing circuit, which involved this wheel going on a roughly 2,500 mile journey with me up to Pennsylvania and back down here to Florida. Got to test the wheel in conditions that I normally wouldn't be able to do it in. You know, the hilly areas of Pennsylvania, that was actually a bonus for sure. And I'm not sure how many miles I put on the V11, but it's quite a few. And I'm really excited. This is the wheel that I have my deposit on, and this experience has only made me feel better about that decision. Everyone, I got so many questions about, okay, Duff, so what's better, V11 or S18? For me, and my needs and my riding style, the V11 is a clear winner for me. Now, if you are someone that does a lot of trail riding, a lot of off-road riding, maybe exclusively very rough road, the S18 has a better suspension. I don't think anyone would dispute that. It's more advanced, it's more tweakable, and you can totally swap out the shock if you want to. You can put a really expensive, high-quality mountain bike shock in there. So the S18, if suspension is your thing and the major thing you're concerned about with the wheel, that is a wheel that I would recommend. However, I am someone that I would say 95% of my riding is on hard surfaces, mostly road. Suspension for me primarily is just to smooth out those more minor bumps and valleys that you have on hard surfaces. The suspension on the V11 is sufficient for me, and it does a good job. It did a surprisingly good job in the swamp. Better than I expected. I expected that to be a pretty rough ride, and once I cranked the pressure on the suspension up to 150 psi, it was much more responsive. And I think, as I've mentioned several times, if I was in a road environment, I think I would bump it down a little bit. A little softer on the road might not be a bad idea. But the suspension on this, while clearly not as good as the S18, it's not bad either. It gets the job done, at least for me. A lot of people talk about the visuals between the S18 and the V11. I think that's entirely subjective. Some people think the V11 looked like crap, but some people like it. Some people prefer it, like myself, to the S18. And that's just a personal preference. I think going with this design, more conventional EUC design, gives the V11 an advantage where it doesn't have to sacrifice space inside the shell for batteries, like the V11 or the S18 did. The power of this motor, this custom Inmotion motor, is substantial, as you can see from the hill climb that I did. And the production model of the V11 is going to have an even more powerful motor. This has a 2,000 watt motor in it. The production is going to be a 2,200 watt motor. As far as the lighting on the V11, the headlight, S18 headlight is good. V11 headlight is better. It is truly an automotive grade headlight. Same thing with the tail light. Super bright, super visual. I'm very pleased with those. Thank God for editing while I scratch my bug bites. The kickstand, which you see it sitting on right now, is something that was sort of dismissed early on as a feature, as a viable feature. I use it all the time. I love it. It's great. Mickey said the same thing. Kickstand's great. It really is. Once you use it, you'll be like, shit, I wish all my wheels had this. It really is nice. I like the more conventional handle setup and the trolley handle. I like having a grip that I can grab easily if I need to, as opposed to the S18 where you have to hit a button and then release it up to the first detent. I said détente a million times in the S18 series, and people kept saying it's not détente. That's a military term. It's detent. I don't know. Detent maybe. I don't know. I've said it détente my whole life, so sorry. But anyways, with the S18 you have to pop a button, get to the first lockout, and then you can grab it. So that's kind of an odd thing about the S18. Let's see what else on the V11. I would say the foot pedals on the S18 and the V11 are more or less a wash. They're I have not gotten the ruler out to measure these, but I can tell you by seat of the pants, they both felt very similar. They both felt very comfortable. With the production V11s, they're going to be increasing the dihedral angle slightly. That it's going to give you a little bit more clearance. They're also going to be increasing the amount of travel in the suspension by 1.5 centimeters. So you're going to have even more suspension travel with a production model, which will be great. The V11 also has a small advantage over the S18 when it comes to top speed. Inmotion decided to increase the top speed of the V11 to 55 kilometers an hour, which is going to be available over the first 20% of the battery pack. The S18 is capped at 50 kilometers an hour, regardless of battery level. Another small bonus. Range test. To be quite honest, I was a little surprised with the range numbers on the V11. I was hoping for a little bit more. I don't know what size pack is in here. I don't know if it's the 1420 watt hour that they originally were speccing for this wheel, or if it's the 15 watt hour battery, 1500 watt hour battery with LG cells, which is going to be on production. When I get my wheel, my production wheel, I will do that range test again, just for clarification's sake. But as is, I would say, range-wise, it was almost a wash, really, between what I got out of the S18 and the V11. It was nice in the Dunkin' Donuts ride to see that I was able to carry 25 miles an hour plus during the entire ride, which was more than 21 miles, no speed limiting whatsoever. So I think Inmotion finally has shifted more towards embracing the enthusiast market, which I think is a good move. The other thing that was noticeable was with this pre-production V11, it didn't seem to have the same fit and finish issues that the S18 did. KingSong swears that all those issues will be taken care of before production starts, and I believe them, but just point of fact that this model seemed much more put together, and it really just speaks quality. Everything about this wheel feels like a lot of time and thought and engineering has gone into it. I'm excited to have this as my next wheel. So to answer the obvious question, so Duff, which one do you prefer? Everybody knows which one I prefer. I prefer the V11. But that's for me. It's my situation, and I think this will really fit my needs well. And I mentioned in the nighttime riding video that I'm seriously wondering, in what situation would I prefer to ride my KingSong 18XL or my KingSong 16X? You know, because this is going to give me similar performance numbers and actually a higher top speed for the first 20% of the pack with the benefits of suspension. So yeah, I think it's a great, great wheel. So really, you can't go wrong, you know, picking one or the other, you know, as long as you pick something that's appropriate for what's important to you with an electric unicycle. The suspension, you know, if suspension is your paramount concern, go with the S18. And if you want more conventional specs, EUC specs, you know, with a bigger battery, higher top speed, super quality. Okay, guys, so really, I think both wheels are a good choice. For me, the V11 is the best choice for me, and I am looking forward to getting my real unit soon. So I hope you found this video series interesting. I know it was long. I tried to cover as much as I could. No, I didn't do any level 3 jumps. My body told me that that's out of bounds. I can't handle doing a lot of jumping right now, unfortunately. But there's other guys that are going to be testing the wheel that will do plenty of that, so no worries. But anyways, I hope you found the series interesting. If you did, think about giving this video a big thumbs up. A huge thanks to Jason from eWheels for allowing us to test these wheels exhaustively. And if you're watching this video, you probably saw other videos, so that means by now you're probably already subscribed, right? I'm sure you're already subscribed, especially if you're watching this on the EUC Army channel, which is almost at 1,000 subscribers, man. You get me to 1,000 subscribers, then it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for me. I would appreciate it. So if you are watching this on EUC Army and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe bell, and you can always hit the notify bell over there. Hit the subscribe button and the notify bell over there. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts about the V11. I'm always anxious to hear the comments of people on these two wheels. Which one do you think is going to fit you better? But it sounds to me like Jason has a good problem on his hands between the S18, the V11, and the veteran Sherman. He has hundreds of people lined up to buy these wheels, so good for him. All right, guys, I'm gonna go back to resuming life as normal. I hope the rest of your 4th of July weekend is enjoyable. And until next time, Duffman out. I'm half thinking about it, but I'm more thinking it's a bad idea. YOLO! it.